Have you ever wondered how habits impact your life and how harnessing their power can lead to phenomenal changes? Our lives are essentially a series of habits, small routines and behaviors that we perform every day, often without thinking. These habits can be a powerful force shaping our actions, molding our identities, and ultimately determining our success or failure. Imagine a world where you could harness this power, where you could design your habits to serve you rather than hinder you. This is not a mere fantasy. It is the central idea of the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. This transformative guide offers a practical and proven framework for creating good habits, breaking bad ones, and mastering the tiny behaviors that lead to remarkable results. It's about the power of tiny changes and their potential to reshape our lives for the better. Join us as we delve into the book Atomic Habits and discover the power of tiny changes. Imagine transforming your life by simply understanding and applying 4 fundamental laws. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? Well, that's precisely what's on the table today as we delve into the 4 laws of behavior change as outlined in the insightful book Atomic Habits. Let's start with the first law. Make it obvious. This law underscores the importance of clarity when setting a new habit. It's about being specific about what you want to do and when you want to do it. For instance, instead of saying, "I want to read more," say, "I will read 20 pages every night before bed." By doing this, you're making the habit obvious and setting a clear intention, which is a significant first step. Next up is the second law. Make it attractive. This law urges us to make the habit something we look forward to doing. The more appealing the habit is, the more likely we are to follow through with it. You could make reading more attractive by coupling it with a cup of your favorite tea, or by reading books that genuinely interest you. The third law is, make it easy. The easier a habit is to start, the more likely you are to stick to it. So, instead of setting a goal to read an entire book in one sitting, aim to read just a few pages each day. The simplicity and ease of this approach make it far more likely that you'll stick to your new reading habit. Last but not least, the fourth law. Make it satisfying. This law emphasizes the importance of instant gratification in habit formation. We humans are wired to enjoy immediate rewards, so find a way to make your new habit instantly rewarding. Perhaps after each reading session, you could enjoy a piece of dark chocolate or spend a few minutes in peaceful meditation. With these 4 laws, you can design good habits and eliminate bad ones. But how do we apply them? Let's find out. Habits are not formed overnight. They are a process, a journey. But what does this journey look like? Imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's just a tiny speck of snow, but as it continues to roll, it gathers more snow, growing larger and larger until it becomes an unstoppable force. This is how habits are formed. They start off as small, almost insignificant actions. But with consistency and time, these actions grow into powerful habits that can shape our lives. Now you might be wondering, why don't I see immediate results when I start a new habit? This is where the concept of the plateau of latent potential comes in. Picture a bamboo plant. For the first several years of its life, you wouldn't see much growth above the soil. But underground, a massive network of roots is spreading out, preparing for the rapid growth that's about to come. This is the plateau of latent potential. It's that period where you don't see noticeable results, even though you're putting in the effort. But here's the catch. Just like the bamboo, if you persist through this plateau, you'll eventually experience a sudden burst of growth. You see, progress is not always linear. It can be delayed, and that's okay. It's important to understand that the value of a habit is not in the immediate result, but in the long-term gain it brings. So when you're building a new habit, don't get discouraged if you don't see instant changes. Keep going. Keep pushing. Every small action you take is contributing to that larger outcome. Every page you read, every mile you run, every healthy meal you eat is a step closer to your goal. Habits are like a river carving out a path through consistent, persistent action. It might take time, but eventually, the river will carve out a deep, lasting path. Remember, habits are a marathon, not a sprint. Progress might seem slow, but it's happening. Keep going, stay patient, and trust the process. Who you are plays a crucial role in what you do. But did you know your identity is also shaped by your habits? This intricate dance between identity and habits forms the core of how we live our lives. Let's consider this. You're an avid reader. You've been reading books since you were a child. You identify as a book lover. This identity motivates you to pick up a new book every week, a habit that you've cultivated over the years. But what came first, the identity or the habit? It's a chicken and egg situation. You started reading, which led to the formation of the identity of a book lover, motivating you to read more, further solidifying your identity. Our habits and identity are intertwined in such a way that it's hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. Our habits give rise to our identity, and our identity, in turn, shapes our habits. They feed off each other in a continuous loop. But here's the interesting part. We can use this relationship to our advantage. By consciously changing our habits, we can influence our identity. For instance, if you want to be healthier, you could start by adopting the habit of regular exercise or eating balanced meals. Over time, these habits will help shape your identity as a healthy person. Similarly, if you want to be seen as a writer, start by writing every day. You might not publish a novel right away, but the habit of writing daily can help shape your identity as a writer. The more you reinforce this habit, the stronger your identity as a writer becomes. It's important to note that this isn't an overnight process. It's a slow, steady journey. Changing habits can be challenging, and changing identity even more so. But the rewards are immense. Remember, small changes in habits can lead to big changes in identity. To sum it up, our habits and identity are two sides of the same coin. They influence and shape each other. By consciously changing our habits, we can shape our identity. And by shaping our identity, we can influence our habits. When you change your habits, you change your identity. And when you change your identity, you change your life. The environment around you can either make or break your habits. So how can you design it to your advantage? Let's delve into the art of habit stacking and environment design. Picture your daily routines as a stack of habits, one on top of another. Habit stacking is simply a strategy that involves pairing a new habit with an existing one. This technique capitalizes on the neural pathways already established for the existing habit, making it easier for the new habit to stick. For instance, if you already have a habit of drinking a cup of tea every morning, you could stack a new habit of reading a chapter of a book onto it. You're essentially weaving this new habit into the fabric of your daily life, making it a seamless part of your routine rather than an interruption. Now let's talk about environment design. Our surroundings play a significant role in shaping our behaviors. By designing your environment to make your desired habits more obvious, attractive, and easy, you're setting the stage for them to flourish. Think about it this way. If you're trying to eat healthier, placing a bowl of fresh fruits on your kitchen counter makes the healthy choice the easy and obvious one. On the other hand, if you're attempting to read more, having a book within arm's reach in your living room makes it more likely for you to pick it up and read. In essence, environment design and habit stacking are about using the power of context and association to your advantage. They're about making the desirable actions easy to do and the undesirable ones hard. Remember, the key is to start small. Choose one habit you'd like to build and pair it with an existing one. Then take a look around and consider how you can tweak your environment to support this new habit. With the right environment and clever habit stacking, you're setting yourself up for success. We often underestimate the power of tiny changes. But what if these tiny changes are the key to massive results? Let's delve deeper. Imagine your day as a series of decisions. Each decision is an opportunity to steer your life in a different direction, even if it's just a tiny bit. Over time, these decisions compound like interest in a bank account, leading to significant outcomes. This is the concept of marginal gains. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't require a massive overhaul of your life. It's about making tiny, almost imperceptible adjustments to your routines, your environment, your behaviors. It's about choosing to read a page of a book instead of scrolling mindlessly on your phone. It's about taking the stairs instead of the elevator. The essence of atomic habits lies in these tiny changes. They might seem insignificant, but remember, they're the building blocks of remarkable results.